Okay, Ray Vargas, the WBC World Featherweight title, taking on Nick Ball from the UK. Now, this 12 round fight was uneventful. Like, uneventful during the first 6 rounds. Ray Vargas dominates. He slides through round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, and round 6. The referee, I will say though, the referee kind of did help him out a little bit in some of the fight. He did squeak out some interesting plays in each fight. But then in round 7, out of nowhere, Nick came out of nowhere and threw huge domination. Like, the 7th round was the biggest domination in any other round in any other fight. Like, Ray Vargas put efforts into his 6 rounds, but round 7 became the most dominant round of any other round, and it was dominated by Nick Ball. And when you go to round 8, he knocks him out. He goes to round 9, and Ray was holding himself together in round 9, but it wasn't good enough. He gets dominated again round 9. And then in round 11, if you think that he had enough to win the fight, if he was going to win, Nick Ball would knock him out again in round 11. And what I mean by that, like thinking that Ray had enough to win if he was going to recover, because he did put okay effort in round 9, but he never capitalized on it as much in the last rounds. He got dominated again in round 10, knocked out again in round 11, and Nick just finished the 12th round. Scorecard 114 to 112. Like, Ray won the first 6 rounds, make that 4 rounds for 2 knockouts. So there, and Nick gets 6 rounds. 2 of them are 10-8, and he wins it. The referee scorecards are different because Jun Bai Lim gave it 116 to 110. Like, his scores were different. Like, he gave round 2, round 6 for Nick, which is weird. Massimo, the other judge, actually gave round 6 to Nick. Those were the only rounds from rounds 1 to 6 that Nick was awarded those rounds by those judges. And of course, round 7 to round 12, Jun would actually give the rest of the other rounds to Nick. 116 and 110. Interesting. As for Judge Massimo, he scored it 114 to 112. Same thing as me. Only instead of giving it to Nick, he gave it to Ray. It's like I said, he gives him the first 5 rounds. Fair enough. He gives Nick round 6. Like, yeah, round 6 was a better round for Nick than the other rounds, but I don't think Ray won the fight. There's times that he did had some offense into the 6th round. Don't get me wrong. He did a good job in round 6, but Ray Vargas did a lot better. Not better than his other first 5 rounds, which you can already tell that Ray Vargas's offense was getting worse until round 6 came. But he still managed to win that round until round 7 to round 12. Nick would give the rest of the rounds to everyone else. And that's it. But this judge, he gives him round 6, he gives Nick round 7, he scores a 10-8 in round 8, and he does it to round 11 as well. And then in round 9 to round 10 and round 12, he gives the rounds to Ray. I don't know what Massimo was thinking of. He gives, like, round 9, like I said before, was the round that looked like Ray was coming back, but it wasn't good enough. And the thing was, he got dominated so bad in round 10. What was the point of giving him that round? Even round 12 wasn't even close. Ray had no business winning the 12th round. And Massimo, this match should have ended in a majority draw, but he gave Ray that round and gave him 114 to 112. If he gave him one of the other rounds to Nick, it would have been 113 even. And surprisingly, speaking about that, Judge Ray Danseco would give it 113 to 113. Like I said, he gives round 1 to round 6, Ray. Round 7, Nick. Knockout to round 8 and 11. Like I said, knockout rounds. He gives him round 7. Round 9. And then round 10, he also gives Ray that round. And, of course, round 12, he gives Nick that round, which is a draw. To be honest, he would have just gave him that 12th round and just said, congratulations, Ray. But to be honest, Ray didn't deserve to win that fight. He wasn't even close from winning 7 rounds. He was even close on winning 7 rounds. Like, the judges' scoring pylon was so dumb that Jun B. Lim deserves to get a paycheck while the other 2 judges lay themselves. The fight was so abysmal how the first 6 rounds were so uneventful that Ray was dominating. Now we have a problem here. Like, Ray was this 36-0 undefeated dude. He loses against a 19-2 fighter last year ago, in a 12-round unanimous decision that wasn't even close, just so he would step down to a weight class, keeping back his featherweight as he was holding, just to score a draw. Nick was 19-0. He should have deserved that win. It's just an abysmal fight. It was so controversially upset. And guys, if people want me to talk about the other fight, I'll give you the other fights. To be honest, guys, here's some other fights. Roman Fury defeats Martin Savark. 4 rounds. They're both undefeated. 3-0 for Roman and the other Martin 2-0. Fight ends with referee being the only judge, scoring a 39-37 for Roman Fury. My point is Roman Fury part of the Fury family? To be honest, he's from Britain. He's a southpaw. He's 27 years old. He's now 4-0. He only has 1 knockout. He's taken on nobodies until today, and he gets his 4th win. Congratulations. But the thing is, I don't see a lot of information. He has 50 followers on BoxRec right now, but no one knows if he's a member of a Fury family. It's like Davey Fury. You know, Dave Overton, the guy that became the imposter for being Davey Fury, pretended to be a Fury family name, and he tricked everyone around the world, and Overton became the biggest person that became, if you guys don't know the history of that, just don't look it up. It's bad. There's so many Fury names out there that have their last name Fury. It's hard for me to tell, are they related to Tyson Fury or John Fury? And so that was a hard thing but just let me know if there's information to that. We even have a 6-round points decision by a guy named Ziad Alamayev, 4-0, and to be honest, he's not from the U.S., he's from Saudi Arabia, which he was born there, but he's actually a resident from Los Angeles, California, representing USA. But to be honest, he gets a 6-round points decision, and that's it. There's nothing else. Like, we do have a heavyweight fight named Andrei Novitsky taking on Juan Torres, a guy that was 11-15-1, and to be honest, it was an 8-round fight that ended in 3 rounds, and this guy was from the Ukraine. He's actually a resident from California right now, is like other Ukraine boxers, just like Vasily Lomachenko and Alexander Usyk. There's just a lot of Ukraine fighters from Los Angeles right now, but yeah, he had a good win. It was an uneventful fight. It went 3 rounds, scored by KO. And the guy named Juan Torres was actually the only thing that we can know about Juan Torres is that, considering he isn't much of a commodity in the boxing world, because technically there's nothing interesting about his boxing career. So nothing to say about it. There's just nothing information about his boxing career. He hasn't taken on any fighters as much. And to be honest, he's just a journeyman. So nothing much. Andre, I just don't know if he has any chances of being a heavyweight contender, but congratulations. So yeah, that's everything about the fight today. We could talk about Jack McGann, that was 9-0-1, that lost against in a first round TKO against a guy with 16 wins and 4 losses, Lewis Green, and how that became an unbelievable when he went for a right hook and knocked out the 9-0-1 that defeated. That became a shocker. But we could talk about any other thing here. We could talk about the 5-round knockout win over Israel Madrimov for his win against the 25-0 Russian Kurbanov, considering how eventful that fight was. The guy just dominated 4 rounds, and he won the WBA World Super Vacant Welterweight title. And now he's in the top 50 pound for pound. So, to be honest, the Ray Vargas and Nick Ball is the more controversial fight in this, and everything else is just uneventful. But the heavyweight fights on the other hand, are a different story. It's a different story when you look at it from a perspective.